After playing Beyond Sandbox, it kind of made me realise how good BoneLab actually is. So in this video, I'm going to tell you why BoneLab is so much better than Beyond Sandbox and why you should consider spending your money on BoneLab instead of Beyond Sandbox. How am I going to do that, you may ask? Well, to prove to you that BoneLab is better than Beyond Sandbox, I'm going to be doing different mechanics in each game and comparing them to see which game does it better. First off, we're going to start with combat. Now, I think we can all agree that BoneLab's combat is so much better than that of Beyond Sandbox's. Sometimes you can run into the issue where your punches just don't register. Now this can get very frustrating if you're trying to have an immersive time in BoneLab, but this problem actually has a really simple solution. All you need to do is buy some Kiwi Design G4 Pro controller grips. Now these grips are incredible as they are made of a material that's super sweat resistant and grippy. My personal favourite part of these grips is the fact that they actually have knuckle straps. For example here, I'm not even holding onto the controller, it's just completely let go of and it's staying in my hand. Usually without knuckle straps, if you try to let go of your controller, this is what would happen. And that's not very pleasant, I think we can all agree. Oh yeah, and as well, these G4 Pro control straps are definitely going to fix your punches not registering. For example, here is without the controller straps. I think we can all agree this sucks. And here is with the controller straps. I just knocked him out easily. So if you don't want to have to worry about your controllers slipping out of your hand or having frustrating combat, make sure you get some from the link in the description as it's the best way to help out the channel. Alright, now here we are in Beyond Sandbox and I have three major problems with the NPCs in this game. Now the first major problem is that these NPCs don't actually fight back. So if I punch him in the face, he's just gonna kind of hold his wound and not even fight back. Look, you see? He's just holding his wound, he's not fighting back whatsoever. If you think it's because these guys are spawned with no AI, you might actually have a point. So just to check, I'm going to spawn him with AI and have a look. He's looking at me, he's got AI. Nope, he just holds his wound. It's not because he has no AI, he is still just holding his wound and not fighting back. Now problem number two is that the bruising system is way too sensitive. For example, I'm going to push him on the pec here and he's going to get quite a big bruise. So here goes the push. See, he got quite a big bruise just from pushing him with the palm of my hand. Now, for some reason, it is very sensitive to fists, but when it comes to actual melee weapons, it's so inaccurate. For example, I'm going to hit him with brass knuckles, and the bruise from this brass knuckle should look more like that. So let's see what happens if I punch pretty hard in the opposite pec. Is the bruise going to get any bigger? No. The bruise is just going to stay like that. So if I were to ask someone to tell me which bruise was caused by brass knuckles, they would tell me this one, but it's actually this one, and that was caused by slightly nudging him. So the bruising system is very, very inaccurate. The third problem with this AI is that the punches are extremely unrealistic, unpolished, and unsatisfying. So look, I just kind of have to show you, and it's just watch. Like that just really did not feel like a real punch. None of it does. It's just so unrealistic. On top of all of those bad things, they only have one single sound for when it comes to punching. Same sound for when it comes to slapping. Same sound effects when it comes to punching too. And exactly the same sound effects when it comes to massive melee weapons. Now next up we're going to be comparing the firearms in each game. Now I tried to use guns that are extremely similar in both games, so for this one it's almost identical to the gun that we're going to be comparing it to in Beyond Sandbox. This one's very similar and so is that one. Unfortunately I can only use base game guns. We're mainly reviewing what the devs made here, not the community. So first of all let's start up with the 1911. Probably the most iconic gun in the Bone series. Now first of all I do like this mag animation. It's a shame that he holds the mag so badly. It would be nice if the bottom of the mag was touching his palm. And it's also a shame that there's no interactable sliding mechanic, like there isn't Into the Radius 2. The slide feels very realistic. That's cool. Let's do a couple test shots. Recoil is nice, it's snappy, it's not too gentle. And the muzzle flash and sound effects are also nice. I am liking the bolt lock, so that's cool. The only unrealistic thing though is that the bolt lock is actually on this side and not on this side, so you should really be pressing one of the thumb buttons to activate the bolt lock. Next we'll be going up to the AKM. So again, another mag animation. This is on every base game BoneLab item, so that's nice. Now let's see what the slide rack feels like. It does feel very realistic. It sounds like a normal AKM and it feels like a normal AKM, so that's perfect. Now let's rate the shooting. sound effect for the shooting is bang on. It's absolutely perfect. I love the recoil too. It's very accurate, it's spiky, it's not too gentle. So that's good. It generally just feels like an AKM. It just feels extremely polished. So that is very nice. I love to see that. Next we'll be moving on to the M870. I like the fact that you can't rack it backwards, so you don't accidentally shoot out a live shell that hasn't been shot yet, so that's cool. It is unrealistic, but it's cool. Anyway, I'm really liking like these kind of adaptive fingers that I'm seeing on the grips. You can move your hands about and your fingers kind of like morph to the shape of the gun. I believe it's the same with the AKM too, so that's cool. You can see my fingers wrapping around the gun, and on here too. And I believe it's the same with this gun, so that is very nice. Very realistic. So yeah, overall realistic grips, and it definitely does feel quite polished. Now let's check the shooting. Okay, it sounds just like an M870, and it feels just like an M870. The recoil is very realistic. Let's test it with one hand. This is perfect. So far, it's looking like BoneLab is probably going to win the firearms section. Alright, here we are back in Beyond Sandbox, and let's review the firearms. Alright, first off, we're going to be comparing the Beretta M9 to the 1911 in BoneLab. First of all, what the heck is that sound effect? Why did it make that sound effect when I picked it up? Anyway, so let's see what inserting the mag is like. So again, they are holding the mag a lot better than in BoneLab. This is definitely the correct way to hold the mag. Right, unfortunately there is absolutely no animation whatsoever, so that's definitely going to deduct some points. Let's see what racking the slide is like. Okay, so definitely not the kind of grip I would go for when it comes to racking the slide, but I like the creativity. Okay. Very, not accurate sound effects. Now, you can't actually see the bullet being chambered like you can in BoneLab. It just kind of appears in there, which is kind of weird. Anyway, let's see what shooting's like. The sound effect is definitely quite accurate, but I have to say the recoil is very inaccurate. Very extremely gentle recoil, so that is really weird. Okay, so I think it is the same button for the bolt rack. No, it's not. So it's actually B, so that is a little bit more accurate than BoneLab. What the hell was that? So very inconsistent damage dealt with this, which is weird. I do think the 1911 is better than this Beretta M9. I like the sound effects, I like the creativity when it comes to holding this, but there's too many like bad points on it. It's not polished. So 1911 in BoneLab is definitely better than that. Alright, now let's go for the AK-47. Okay, that is cool that they've got the little interactable sliding feature. Alright. Oh, that did not sound very realistic at all. Okay, so I'm only feeling vibrations in my left hand and not my right hand. Terrible shooting experience. So for some reason, you only get vibration on the first shot, and then on the rest of the bursts in the full auto, there's no vibration. I do like little finger animations. BoneLab has that too though. So I think this is roughly the same as in BoneLab, because these little physics-based interactions do make up for it. But otherwise, I'm not sure. One main issue that I have is this: you can't put a mag back into your holster. There's no mag count. In BoneLab, for example, if you drop too many mags, save performance, what it does is it deletes some other mags and puts the deleted mags ammo back into your ammo pouch. Anyway, we're going to be comparing this gun to the M870 in BoneLab. I'm not liking those sound effects too much. This little physics-based thing is a little bit nifty, but BoneLab could do that if they wanted to. No animation, so that's going to deduct some points. Anyway, let's see what it's like. So the sound effect is accurate. To conclude, I think I can say that the Beyond Sandbox guns do have a couple nifty features like physics-based interactions and sliding mags, but when you compare them to BoneLab's guns, they are a lot less realistic and a lot less polished. So I think we can say that that point goes to BoneLab, which gives it 2-0 against Beyond Sandbox. So with all of that being overviewed, I think we can really see the difference between the different developing styles between SRZ and the Beyond developers. We can really see that SRZ put a lot of effort to polish their guns and make sure that it feels as realistic as possible. But the Beyond developers just add a couple nifty features and call it next gen and groundbreaking. So really the Beyond developers are just quite lazy and just want their money as quick as possible, whereas SRZ actually just want to make an immersive experience for their community. To put it simply, BoneLab BoneLab is way better than Beyond Sandbox in terms of physics and immersion. It's a little bit harder to see in the footage, which is why I tried to explain it in great detail for you guys, which is what made this video as long as it is. With that being said, if you want to hit the subscribe button, it's right there, and for those of you on mobile, please hit the hype button. I don't know how it works, I think it boosts the video's performance, but feel free to click it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.